So if we want to graph the functions where f of x equals square root of x plus 4, the 4 on the outside of the square root here, and the plus 4 on the inside of the square root here, we're going to get different results. But first off, the shape is going to come from the square root of x part. We know some perfect squares. Why grab a calculator when we can quickly come up with these perfect squares? Those are going to give us points that we can plot and that we don't need to estimate, particularly if you're using an online homework system where you need to watch the coordinates before you click. We can, if this was just y equals square root of x without the plus 4, we could plot 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, and 9, 3, and easily tell where we're at. Just seeing those 4 points is going to be enough to get a sense of the curvature of the graph. Technically, this does have a finite starting point where x is exactly equal to 0. If we want real outputs, we can now put in negative numbers. So it's starting at 0, continuing on to the right. We would have an arrow showing that in most cases, but a lot of the newer technology doesn't include those arrows. Now, as for having a plus 4 afterwards, we've already got the shape. This is just going to add 5 to all of those values. Sorry, add 4. It's going to add 4 to all of these previous y values. It's going to wind up shifting the original graph that I showed up 4 units. So now we've got 0, 4. We've got 1, 5. We've got 4, 6. And we've got 9, 7. No. Yeah. So to come up with a domain and range, as I stated, if we just concentrate on the, as I just stated, we can't put in negatives, but for each of these graphs, actually, we're seeing that we can put in x greater than or equal to 0. As for the range, let's just concentrate on the second one here. Looking bottom to top, least to greatest, the y values are starting and including the 4. It was putting in x equals 0 that gave us y equals 4. So our domain is 0 to infinity. Because the 0 is included, we've got a square bracket. And on the other hand, we can never reach infinity. So that has a parenthesis by it. The range we saw was 4 to infinity. Now, as for having the plus 4 inside,